Right now, the race to reopen safely. How businesses are reacting to the governor's surprise announcement.
Plus, we're taking a look at what challenges schools will face when they return in the fall.
And our forecast for this morning starts with some sunshine across southern Wisconsin, but we have a big warm-up coming up. All of the details in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
It's a Tuesday morning, folks. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter with Leah Lynchide and Chris Stanford. We've been following some breaking news this morning about a traffic incident on Highway 151 in Grand County. Let's take a look at the maps right now. We've got a closer look. This is between County Highway O and down to Airport Road, just southwest of Platteville this morning. We're learning this is a hazmat situation, which is why they have both of those directions closed. We do have new information from the Grand County Sheriff's Office this morning about a detour this morning. If you're heading northbound, traffic's going to be diverted just south of Dickeyville across County Highway Double H to Cuba City to go north of Highway 80 back into Platteville. Southbound traffic will be rerouted south on Highway 80 to Hazel Green and across Highway 11. We do have a crew on the scene. We're going to bring you more details as soon as the situation develops this morning, and we'll have updates throughout the next hour. Also developing right now, President Trump and Vice President Pence are reportedly keeping their distance from each other after confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the White House. CBS News says the two haven't been seen next to each other since last Thursday. The Vice President did not attend yesterday's briefing, but President Trump says they are communicating over the phone. This comes after two members of the White House staff tested positive for the virus, including the VP's press secretary. According to NPR, the president says he feels, quote, no vulnerability whatsoever and remains focused on the country's economic recovery.
The U.S. House could be back at the Capitol by Friday. This morning, sources say that House Democrats are putting finishing touches on another massive stimulus bill and could unveil it within the next day. However, Senate GOP leaders in the White House have so far resisted more stimulus, wanting to assess how the nearly $3 trillion in rescue programs are being implemented.
A Wisconsin state senator is pushing for his colleagues to go on record this morning condemning the Chinese government for its response to coronavirus. Senate President Roger Roth is writing a resolution that he says is necessary to fight misinformation from China. According to the Wisconsin Examiner, the state senator made the decision to condemn China after receiving 2 emails from a Chinese official asking him to praise the country's efforts in fighting the virus.
Well, the governor's order allowing retail shops to reopen to customers is giving business owners a lot to think about this morning. We talked with the co-owner of Orange Tree Imports, who also represents the Monroe Street Merchants Association. She says businesses were caught off guard by the announcement, adding they have to consider how best to keep 5 or fewer customers in the shop, what precautions will keep their staff members and customers as safe as possible, and if it makes financial sense.
It's definitely a welcome option, but it's not for everybody, and I don't think that we're going to see a return to normalcy for independent retailers, at least for several weeks, if not months.
Now, keep this in mind. Schroeder doesn't expect businesses to open up instantly. Several are considering opening up by appointment only. Well, the governor's new order goes into effect as over 518,000 Wisconsinites file for unemployment. The state says that's about 17% of Wisconsin's working population. The Department of Workforce Development has paid out so far more than $940 million in the last 8 weeks. If you're still trying to reach DWD, they are dealing with a large amount of calls right now. The department says they've received over 5 million phone calls in the last week.
As Wisconsin begins to lift some restrictions, other states are already in phase 2 of their reopenings. That's the case in Florida, where nail and hair salons are back open this week. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis gave businesses the green light with a few new requirements in place.
Making sure that everyone sanitizes and washing their hands before they come in or when they come in. And as appointments come to the shop, they'll have to wait in their car.
The governors of Arizona, Indiana, and Arkansas also eased restrictions for restaurants yesterday. New York is preparing to reopen parts of that state Friday, but Washington, D.C. will likely have to extend its stay-at-home order past May 15th.
While businesses focuses on reopening now, school districts are thinking ahead to the fall and how they plan to reopen. Schools in Los Angeles are preparing to provide PPEs and testing for students and staff, as well as increasing the frequency of sanitation. The superintendent there tells the LA Times that cleaning will have to change drastically from how it was done just a few months ago. He says schools across the country will face these challenges as they are among the top locations where infections are likely to spread.
With many families in need of food and dairy farmers facing a surplus of milk, an Auburndale teacher is stepping up to help. It started as a Facebook challenge to donate 1 pound of cheese and 1 pound of milk for every family in the Auburndale School District. Yesterday, they handed out 5,000 pounds of cheese to 9 different school districts. And organizers say this is just the beginning.
5,000 pounds is a drop in the bucket compared to what we can do all together if we work on this. Sky's the limit on this thing, and I'm just really proud to be a part of this.
Because support for the drive so far has been so outstanding, they plan on running it throughout the summer.
5 minutes past 6 o'clock right now on a Tuesday morning. Beautiful start out there. Finally, some warmer temperatures on the way after some just darn right cold couple of days.
I know. I was still wearing my gloves into work this morning.
It's ridiculous.
Mid-May almost. But just one more night with those cold conditions, and then things start to warm up. But Josh is right. It's a beautiful start to this Tuesday morning. You see the Capitol in the distance, clear skies over Madison and all of southern Wisconsin. With those clear skies, though, temperatures dropped pretty quickly last evening, and we are below freezing north of Dane County. That's where a freeze warning is in effect for the southern 2 tiers of counties. Here in Wisconsin, it's a frost advisory yet until 8 o'clock this morning. Now, here's a look at our current temperatures. Haven't seen a whole lot of movement on these numbers. I believe Janesville's down 1 degree to 36. We're still 32 here in Madison. In the Dells and Camp Douglas, though, it's 27 degrees. And if you head up north towards Black River Falls, temperatures are in the teens this morning. Now, here's a look at our low temperature trend. I mentioned one more night, and that comes tonight, where you may need to worry about some frost. There's a low of 36 forecast, and that's from Madison. But if you're typically in one of those colder spots, maybe a valley, you might want to consider covering plants up once again tonight or protecting them. After that, I don't think you'll need to worry about frost, as overnight lows go back into the 50s. Here's a look at Weather Track. We have high pressure in control, and that will really steer all the cloud cover and rain around us. Still going to keep us a little cooler than it should be for this time of the year. Our temperatures with that sunshine will warm through the 40s today. Should be in the 50s by lunchtime. Our highs will reach 58 degrees later on this afternoon. Again, mostly sunny skies expected all day today. Another quiet night tonight. That will lead us to cold conditions once again. After that, though, we have a nice warm up in the forecast. You could say the warm-up starts today. We're in the 60s tomorrow, 70s then on Thursday and Friday. And if I move out of the way here, check this out. 80s are in the forecast starting Tuesday of next week.
Flip-flop weather. Love it.
That is true. Yeah, break out the shorts.
Well, here's a new sign of how the pandemic is hurting the travel industry. Hyatt, the world's 4th largest hotel chain, says it'll be laying off 1,300 employees. In a statement, the company says the layoffs, along with rounds of restructuring, will start June 1st. They credit the drop in travel demand as well as a slower than expected rate of recovery as reasoning for their decision. Now, as a whole, the hotel industry is looking at a loss of $1.4 billion every week because of the coronavirus. JCPenney could be forced to file for bankruptcy as soon as this week. In the past month, the retailer missed 2 debt payments totaling nearly $30 million. Now, they've declined to comment on if they'll be filing for bankruptcy in the coming days or not, but JCPenney's does say that missing their most recent payment on May 7th was a strategic decision to take advantage of a grace period as they hold discussions with their lenders. As of February 1st, the company had about $3.5 billion in long-term debt on their books.
It is a different story for the snack industry. Major processed food companies like General Mills, Kellogg, and Campbell's are seeing soaring stock prices. The Washington Post reports companies have seen sales increase as much as 20% in the past few months. The chairman of Mondelez International, the maker of Oreos and Chips Ahoy, says snacking is an outlet for stress and helps provide a sense of normalcy.
Sure. What's your guys' guilty pleasure right now to snack on?
You know, I always stay stocked up on s'mores snacks, so I'm constantly like digging in there for marshmallows and Hershey's bars.
Mine's been like trail mix, peanuts, cashews.
Oh sure, healthy guy over here making us look bad.
But if there's anything, it's been the wine. There has been plenty of wine in my household.
Josh and I do a workout together, and he doesn't have weights, so he'll use wine.
Bottles of wine? Hey, you know you got to make it work.
They call me out every morning. I'm like, it's all I got. That and like I've got my bottle of detergent that I use from the laundry room too.
You're impressive, Josh. you're impressed.
You got to use what you can, right?
That's good. Making it work.
You got to make it work. All right, it's 9 minutes past 6 o'clock this morning, and we've been following this developing story all morning. This is down in Grant County, just southwest of Platteville. Highway 151 is closed due to a hazmat situation between County Road O and Airport Road there. We have all the detour information up on channel3000.com as well. We'll keep our eye on that. As far as Dane County goes this morning, no crashes to report. Rock County, much of the same. And that's a look at your first warn traffic. All right, coming up on 6:00 or 6:10 right now, just ahead for us, new developments this morning as the Madison Plan Commission worked into the early hours of the morning before making a decision affecting a local high school.
And the MLB is meeting with the Players Association today in hopes of getting the baseball season started soon. We'll tell you why some players, though, say that deal is destined to strike out.
That and what's going to happen with the NFL season. That's also being discussed this morning. It's all straight ahead. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Admit it, you just don't have time for mowing. At Barnes, we take pride in our attention to details like straight mowing lines and spotless paved areas. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
The Our Home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
The world may be shut down, but Mother Nature won't wait. Normal wear and tear on your home won't wait either. So if you need a home improvement, we're here to help. With exclusive offers to save you money on roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and design services, all with zero down, 0% interest, and no monthly payments for 6 months. Plus free virtual consultations from the comfort and safety of your own home. Visit fryconstruction.com for exclusive money-saving offers and contact us today.
Check out Steinhaffel's virtual shopping experience. We provide you with a 360-degree view of our most popular products, so spin all of the furniture you want. Plus, browse through our product videos to see and learn more about our best sellers. We also have sale associates ready to help through phone, email, or our online chat feature. And get your online order shipped free to your curb, driveway, or garage. Shop online with confidence at steinhaffels.com.
At Machinery Road Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of cycling apparel, shoes, and helmets from Pearl Izumi, Castelli, Trek, Gore, Showers Pass, Terry, Bell, and Giro. There's no such thing as bad weather, just unsuitable clothing. At Machinery Road Bicycles, you'll find cycling apparel for all seasons, whether you're trying to beat the heat or stay warm and dry. Lots of great bargains. From commuting to triathlon, from quality basics to the gear the pros wear, and everything in between. The most beautiful bicycle store in the world, Machinery Road Bicycles, has you covered.
We're back.
We got our to-go food.
Oh, good. What a treat after a long week and no cleanup.
When you can't dine in, then get it to go and support our restaurants during Madison Magazine's Restaurant Week to Go. 2 weeks of fabulous to-go menus you'll love. Visit madisonmagazine.com for details and menus. Restaurant Week to Go, presented by Kesnick's. Food service design, equipment, and supplies.
I guess there is still cleanup to do.
Admit it, you just don't have time for mowing. At Barnes, we take pride in our attention to details like straight mowing lines and spotless paved areas. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Welcome back at 6:13. We're following some breaking news from overnight. Madison's Plan Commission says it won't allow Edgewood High School to install lights to its athletic field. The State Journal says the vote on that decision didn't come until the early morning hours. People living in the neighborhood surrounding Edgewood High School have long opposed adding lights and speakers to the stadium, saying they were worried about the noise if the school was allowed to host night games. The fight between the school and the neighborhood has been going on for several years now, with the school suing the city at one point. The school school dropped that lawsuit in February, but could bring it up again after this decision. And breaking into the newsroom within the last 10 minutes here, 2 14-year-olds are facing charges after leading police on a chase in Janesville. Police say they responded to a call for people going through vehicles just before 12:30 this morning on Pontiac Drive, just off the interstate. Officers say when they tried to stop the suspects in a stolen car, they drove away. The suspects led police on a 15-minute chase through the Village Green neighborhood before police deflated their tires with stop sticks. Police say the suspects then ran away. 2 of the 3 were caught, but the 3rd is still on the loose this morning.
6:14 right now in Oshkosh. A high school resource officer is now cleared of any wrongdoing regarding a shooting. Officer Michael Wissink shot then 16-year-old Grant Furman inside his office at Oshkosh West High School in December. Furman is accused of stabbing the officer multiple times with a barbecue fork, leading to those shots being fired. Neither were seriously injured. Furman, though, is charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide. U.S. Air Force investigators are rejecting allegations that commanders retaliated against a Wisconsin National Guard sergeant for reporting sexual assaults within the 115th Fighter Wing. The Secretary of the Air Force Inspector General notified Master Sergeant Jay Ellis last week that his complaints were not substantiated. Ellis said Guard officials launched a review of his medical history to set up a medical discharge and deny him retirement benefits.
The federal government is working on a plan for rationing remdesivir, the only drug so far that's shown some promise as a treatment for coronavirus. Given the limited supplies, the federal government has been doling it out, some hospitals getting less than they need, while others getting none. Saturday, the federal government said in addition to sending remdesivir to hospitals, they'd also start sending it to some state health departments. It's not clear, though, who will get those shipments or how they'll pick states in need. New information this morning. The owner of America's largest face mask producer says the president turned him down on his offer to make millions of N95 masks. Michael Bowen says he made that offer the day after the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in the U.S. The Washington Post reports he offered to produce nearly 2 million masks per week back in January. It's not clear why the president's administration turned down that initial offer. FEMA did ultimately give the company a $9.5 million contract to make masks.
United Airlines will let flyers know ahead of time if their upcoming flight is expected to be full or close to it. Passengers can then choose to switch flights or receive a travel credit. It comes after a doctor tweeted an image of a full flight drawing some backlash online.
6:16 this morning, and I'm looking at this map behind Hattie this morning and thinking, what is happening? Look at that, 17 degrees in Black River Falls. It's May 12th.
Very low spot there.
Yes.
Very low spot. There should maybe be an asterisk by that one. But yeah, you're right. Temperatures are much colder than they should be this time of the year. This is nothing new. We've been dealing with some pretty cold nights lately. One more night where we have to be concerned with frost. 32 here in Madison, 27 in the Dells, 36 in Janesville. Looks like Monroe is the warm spot with 39 degrees. Our temperatures today, though, will warm pretty quickly. We have lots of sunshine in our forecast with highs in the upper 50s later on this afternoon. Just a light northwest wind expected. Might want to locate the umbrella, though, for tomorrow. It'll likely be a dry start to the day as we head towards the lunch hour, and then especially late in the afternoon and evening. That's when our better chances for rain move back into the area. We're all likely to get some rain overnight into Thursday, and by Friday, as things quiet down, here's a look at total potential rain. Could be up over ½ inch in many locations, with the highest totals right along the state line. Coming up, we'll talk more about a warm-up in the forecast. You're reading that right. Our first 80-degree day is in the forecast. It'll be the first time in about 7.5 months.
Too long, Hattie, too long.
I agree.
All right, thank you very much. 6:17 now. New developments in the death of Kobe Bryant. Court documents allege all 9 people on board the helicopter that crashed back in February were at fault. Those documents, released by attorneys representing the family of the pilot, say passengers knew the risks involved and that the defendant bears no responsibility. This comes in response to a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Bryant's widow, Vanessa, which blames the pilot and the helicopter company.
The NFL season up in the air. Now one of the nation's top health officials says that it's still too risky to start the season even without fans. Dr. Anthony Fauci says due to the contact nature of the sport, the virus has an opportunity to spread among players. He says even if one player tests positive, the whole season will have to be scrapped. He says the only way there's a chance that we see football this year is if there is a significant decrease in the number of infections in the U.S. Miami Dolphins, meantime, they are moving forward. They have plans to host fans at Hard Rock Stadium for the upcoming season. The team will be making changes to how fans enter, where they can sit, all to accommodate social distancing. The stadium, which recently hosted the Super Bowl, can hold up to 65,000 fans. Under the Dolphins' distancing plan, capacity would be limited to as few as 15,000.
Major League Baseball owners will meet with the league's Players Association today in hopes of starting the season by the 4th of July. The plan created by the owners calls for a second round of spring training starting sometime next month before starting an 82-game schedule. Games would be played in home stadiums without fans in the stands, and teams would only play games regionally against division opponents and teams in the opposite league's division. That would mean the Brewers would only play teams in the NL and AL Central divisions. All games would also use a designated hitter for the pitcher. This is far from a done deal, though, because owners are asking players to take another pay cut on top of one they've already agreed to. The executive director of the Players Association sent out a statement overnight accusing owners of using the COVID-19 crisis to limit player pay and keep more money for themselves, saying, quote, "None of this is beneficial to the process of finding a way for us to safely get back on the field and resume the 2020 season."
Hey, I think at this point, baseball fans will take whatever they can get.
I think this is so important for the spirit of the nation. I think sports tend to bring us together, find something to root for together. There's a little competitive nature there. I think it's really important to help people heal here.
Got to find a way to do it safely.
And I think, even non-sports fans are excited for that as well. All right, 20 minutes past 6 o'clock, and still ahead for us, we've got the winners of our Safe at Home Challenge.
And coming up in the next half hour, some Wisconsinites are preparing for their second election during the pandemic. What voting will look like for those headed to the polls.
We're so glad you're starting your Tuesday off with us. We're back after a quick break.
Year-rounders run with Sloan's at the John Deere Green Tag sales event because seasons change, but your workload doesn't. Get $300 off and 12 months, no interest. Get a John Deere X350 during Green Tag and...
During these challenging times, many Habitat homeowners are hard at work on the front lines. Others have lost their jobs. Please consider making a donation to ease their financial burden and help us bring stability to families in our community.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
When a stuffy nose closes in, Breathe Right strips open your nose up to 38% more than cold medicine alone. Breathe better, sleep better. Breathe Right.
Guardians of the Grass run with Sloan. Save big on select Z-Track mowers at the John Deere Green Tag sales event. This Green Tag sales event won't last forever. Get a John Deere Z-Track during Green Tag and
Just about 6:24 this morning, and it's time to take a look at some of our entries for yesterday's Safe at Home Challenge.
So we asked you to put us in a springtime mood with some photos of flowers, and you did not disappoint. Here are a few of our favorites.
That's right. Our first runner-up this morning got up close and personal with this daisy. Beautiful shot.
Oh, wow. Real up close and personal. Love that. Here's another runner-up. Take a peek at this. There is no better spot to take a group shot than right there.
Very nice. And hey, check out today's winner. Some bleeding hearts, some of Leah's favorites. You get those outside your folks' house, right?
They do. They bring back memories of being a little kid, picking them all off, and my dad getting really mad because they then be empty little branches.
Zeke.
I know.
Great photo. Congrats to today's winner. You're going to be getting a gift card from a local business.
And here's a look at tomorrow's challenge that we have for you. It's National Bike Month, so we're asking you to take a picture of your family bike ride.
Ooh, I'm excited for this one. I love a good bike ride. Be sure to head to our website, channel3000.com/safeathome to send in your submissions. And it's finally nice enough to bike because it feels like we've had so many days that have not been so nice.
It certainly is. I went for a bike ride, but I had a buff covering my ears yesterday because it was still pretty chilly. Today is going to be a little bit warmer. We do start with temperatures at or below freezing, though, in many locations through the Wisconsin River Valley. Here in Madison, we're at 32, and places to the north are in the 20s. Temperatures should climb pretty quickly today. If you're headed out for tea time, here's your forecast. We have highs in the upper 50s later on today. Nothing but sunshine here in the Badger State. So a nice forecast coming up. Now the average first dates, the average first time that we hit 80 degrees here in southern Wisconsin, May 5th. We'll hit it just a little bit later than that, but there you can see how we stacked up so far this year. We actually hit our first 70-degree day right on target, but the first 60-degree day came a few weeks early for us this year. So we do have 80s in the forecast. Take a look at the extended forecast. We have highs starting on Tuesday next week at 80 degrees.
Oof, looking forward to that, Hattie. Thank you very much. As we go to break here at 6:26, we want to leave you with a live picture outside of Platteville, where they have 151 blocked off this morning due to a crash involving a hazmat situation. We'll have the latest on this breaking news when News 3 Now this morning continues.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Green Tag is on now at Sloan Implement. Get a John Deere and your super-size Sloan deal. Get 0% for 84 months or $195 per month on a John Deere 2025R. Get a John Deere now during Green Tag and powered up with Sloan.
When you need a vehicle you can count on, trust Toyota to be here for you.
Many Toyota service centers are open to help keep your vehicle in top shape and may even offer no-contact vehicle drop-off. If you need a new vehicle, Toyota is offering 0% financing for 60 months and attractive leases on our most popular Toyotas. You can even shop and buy online from the comfort of your home.
It's our promise to you, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
When you have depression, it can plunge you into deep, dark lows and can leave you feeling extremely sad and disinterested. Overwhelmed by bipolar depression? Ask about Vraylar. Not all types of depression should be treated the same. Vraylar effectively helps relieve all symptoms of bipolar depression with just one pill once a day. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. Metabolic changes may occur. Nausea, restlessness, and movement dysfunction are common side effects. When bipolar depression overwhelms, ask how Vraylar can help.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry. With honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. RHD Plumbing now offers complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling, the best plumbers, and everything else you need to finish your dream project. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time with no surprises with the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
We here at Brothers Maine wanted to check in with everyone in the light of the COVID-19 epidemic. We're going to do everything we can here at our store to make sure everything's clean, disinfected, and ready for customers to come in and shop with us. Not only can we come to your house and set up the products as we normally would, but we're also going to be offering a free drop-off service in Dane and Rock County. There's nothing more important to our company than making sure that our employees and our customers are safe and healthy.
Go-getters, run with Sloan. Save big on full and mid-size Gator XUVs at the John Deere Green Tag sales event, because taking the wheel shouldn't take you over budget. Get a John Deere Gator during Green Tag and power up with Sloan.
Right now, some Wisconsinites are getting ready to head back to the polls today. What voting will look like for the state's second election during the coronavirus pandemic.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, May 12th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Sprider with Leah Linscheid and Chris Stanford. We want to begin this half hour with an update to breaking news I've been following all morning. We are getting our first look at Highway 151 near Platteville this morning, where authorities are blocking off the highway in both directions. This is a live picture right now from photojournalist Mark Schilling. A hazmat team was called to the area early this morning after a crash there, and Grant County authorities are saying it is imperative that people do not deviate from the detours. We want to give you a closer look at the first warn traffic maps right now. This is the area we're talking about, just southwest of Platteville, between County Road O and Airport Road this morning. Again, both directions are closed right now. We've posted all of the detour information on channel3000.com. No word of any injuries right now, but we're going to continue following this and bring you updates as soon as they become available. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Josh. Another big story this morning, the latest on the coronavirus here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, let's take a look at where we stand right now. There are more than 10,000 confirmed cases in the state, but the good news is right here. We've reached another requirement for Governor Evers' Badger Bounce Back Plan. There has been a downward trend of positive cases out of the total number of tests taken over a 14-day period.
Here's what we've accomplished and how much we still need to do. Almost all of Wisconsin hospitals can treat patients without overwhelming the system, and they can test all symptomatic staff who are treating patients. Now, as you can see here on this table, that is just half the criteria needed to reopen the state. Once the rest are met, the state can move ahead with more expanded reopening plans.
Also developing this morning, some Wisconsinites are getting ready to go to the polls again today for a special election. Voters in central and northern Wisconsin will decide who will replace Representative Sean Duffy in the 7th Congressional District. Republican Senator Tom Tiffany of Minocqua is running against Democratic Wausau School Board member Tricia Zunker. This is Wisconsin's second election during the coronavirus pandemic. Clerks around the state are urging voters to participate by mail despite being, quote, slammed by absentees back in April's primary election. Nearly 250 National Guard troops will be working at polling sites today to help make up for the poll worker shortage.
Wisconsin is still urging voters to submit their ballots through the mail, but there are a lot of other states who are doing things differently. West Virginia, Delaware, and New Jersey, they all have pilot programs that will allow military and overseas voters, as well as some folks with disabilities, to do so online, as well as folks with disabilities. NPR reports the federal government isn't behind this just yet, though. In an 8-page report, the Department of Homeland Security told these states online voting is high risk, even if all recommended security measures are taken. DHS recommends paper ballots instead.
The Democratic Party will start working on a plan today to potentially hold their national convention virtually. It's already been pushed back from July to August in Milwaukee, but the party now working on a way to design that convention so delegates don't actually have to attend in person. Organizers will start the process today with a resolution to grant maximum flexibility to the organizing committee.
New this morning, Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin says she is in regular contact right now with Joe Biden and his campaign, but she will not say whether she's talked about being his running mate. In an interview with CBSN, Baldwin said that she keeps her counsel with the vice president's campaign private. She's been advising Biden's campaign on Wisconsin and is participating in campaign activities virtually.
There is still no decision from the Wisconsin Supreme Court, a week after hearing oral arguments on whether the Safer at Home extension is legal. The court will decide whether the DHS Secretary designee had the authority to extend the governor's order to May 26th. We talked to a political expert who says the delay could mean we're about to see an unpredictable ruling. If the court does side with Republicans, the state has 6 days to figure out a new plan. Meanwhile, Dr. Fauci plans to warn senators about, quote, needless suffering and death if the country opens up too quickly. The New York Times reports Fauci is one of 4 top government doctors set to testify remotely at a committee hearing today. It'll be his first appearance before Congress since President Trump declared a national emergency back in March. Many states are currently reopening without meeting federal guidelines.
Developing right now, the Federal Reserve will start buying corporate debt ETFs today. Bloomberg News reports the move was first announced in March and has played an important role in keeping markets relatively calm since then. This is the first Fed program using funds from the CARES Act. Congress gave $454 billion in equity to support Fed loans as part of that $2 trillion package.
6:34 right now. Some area grocery store workers will no longer be getting bonuses from Kroger. The company is ending its hero bonus. It gives an extra $2 an hour to tens of thousands of workers during the pandemic. A spokesperson for the company says the hero bonus is scheduled to end mid-May. Kroger runs several grocery stores in our area, including Pick and Saves and Metro Markets.
Dane County is asking its employees to take voluntary furloughs as department heads plan for budget cuts. The State Journal reports letters were sent last week to all 2,500 county employees. They're being asked to take up to 80 hours of unpaid time off this year. The county is reportedly offering an extra paid vacation day to those who take the full 80 hours or prorated vacation hours for those who take less.
$11 billion will be headed to U.S. states, territories, and tribes to help expand coronavirus testing. This money already has congressional approval as part of the coronavirus relief package. The Department of Health and Human Services says the U.S. has enough testing capacity now to finish phase 1 of the White House's 3-phase reopening plan. When asked about when Americans could get tested more frequently to go back to work, President Trump said very soon, but offered no details.
6:35 right now on a Tuesday morning, and a beautiful start out there, although it's still pretty cold. It looks good, though.
It certainly does look nice. Yeah, sun comes up about 5:30 these days. You can see it's already climbing in the sky. Skies are clear here on the west side of town and across most of southern Wisconsin. Let's take a look at what's in effect, though, this morning. We're still talking freeze warnings. Areas north of Dane County. For the rest of southern Wisconsin, that southern 2 tiers of counties, it's a frost advisory this morning until 8 o'clock. Now, temperatures have been pretty steady over the last couple of hours. Not seeing a lot of movement here. 32 in Madison, the Dells 28, 36 in Mineral Point, and 36 this morning in Platteville. A wider view of what's happening across the area will show you that skies are in fact clear for all of the Badger State. All of the cloud cover well off to our south and west, and it should stay that way through the day today. We have one more night where we're going to be concerned with the potential for frost, and that's tonight. Temperatures are forecast to drop into the 30s here in Madison, mid-30s. There may be some parts of our area, though, especially to the north, that will be a little cooler. After that, our nighttime lows really take a jump, and we're back close to normal as we head into next week. So it looks like maybe finally turning that hopefully last corner this spring. Here's a look at your future track forecast model. Clear skies again this morning. Here's a look. Temperatures by 8 o'clock already into the 40s in some locations. 50s by lunchtime today. There will be a lake breeze developing, and you can see those winds again coming off of cooler waters of Lake Michigan. There is that lake breeze. It does move in onshore a little bit further through the afternoon. So as temperatures climb into the mid and upper 50s for south central Wisconsin, it'll be noticeably cooler as you head towards Milwaukee. Our forecast, though, calls for pretty quiet conditions overnight tonight. Again, it is going to be chilly. After that, we have warming temperatures. 60s on Wednesday. Some showers and thunderstorms moving in later on Wednesday and lasting through Thursday. Look at that nice warm up, though, as we head into next week. Hard to ignore those 80s that are finally in our forecast. It'll be the first time since last September.
80s right ahead of Memorial Day weekend. Looking good, Hattie. Thank you very much. Continuing our coverage now and following new numbers just into the newsroom this morning, at least 869 immigrants in ICE custody have coronavirus. 14 detention centers in the U.S. currently have 20 or more cases. According to ICE's numbers, more than 51% of detainees screened for the virus have tested positive. The organization says more than 4,400 of their detainees are at risk, meaning they're 55 or older or have pre-existing health conditions.
Some hospitals will be slow to restart elective procedures because they're afraid of getting sued if patients get coronavirus during those visits. Politico reports Republicans are behind the hospitals. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy say legal protections are absolutely essential in any future coronavirus relief bill. Democrats say sweeping immunity could free hospitals from accountability and make it hard for people to get compensation for harm.
There's worry this morning that the Chinese government could be working to access U.S. research on coronavirus treatments and vaccines. Universities, research facilities, and healthcare institutions could be most at risk. Organizations and employees are now being asked to take more precautions to protect against attacks. The Trump administration, Department of Homeland Security, and the FBI are expected to issue a joint warning about this. It's unclear, though, when that warning could be made.
6:39 from the First Warn Traffic Center. We're keeping our eye on that breaking news in Grand County this morning. Again, just southwest of Platteville, Highway 151 between County Road O and Airport Road is closed due to a crash there involving a hazmat situation. A hazmat scene or crew is on that scene this morning. As we go to break, we're going to take a live picture of that scene. This is just south of Platteville, where they are blocking traffic off there. Now, the Grand County Sheriff telling us this morning that it is imperative that drivers use those detours and stay away from the area. We'll have the latest coming up in the morning sprint.
Plus, it's a debate going back to the dial-up days. We'll introduce you to a new feature that should save you from those annoying email chains at work. That information, very valuable. It's next after the break.
Social distancing and family quarantines are a jarring reality for kids. It's a big adjustment, so it's important that we adults do what we can to help them navigate this new normal. Encourage your kids to ask questions and give them honest, age-appropriate answers. Show them things that they can do to regain some control. And above all, reassure them that their safety is your top priority.
Now more than ever, SSM Health and News 3 Now encourage you to take time for kids.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
Wisconsin is one of those certain places with certain people who do a certain thing better than anyone else, anywhere. In Wisconsin, we dream in cheese. Look for our badge. It's on everything we make.
Goldman Cars is having a huge markdown sale where you can buy a 2017 Subaru Legacy Premium starting at only $10,995 or $170 per month. That's right, Goldman Cars has new body style 2017 Subaru Legacy Premium starting at only $10,995 or $170 per month. So just come on in and visit our family-owned and operated business for over 50 years and ask for Crystal Epistle Goldman. Go to Goldman Cars East or West.
You gotta go to Goldman, GoldmanCars.com.
New News 3 Now.
Protesters ignore state orders to stay at home.
Disappointed and frightened by what the protests would pose in our state.
Providing you with the facts.
We need a decrease in the amount of positive tests as a percent of the total tests for 14 days.
About how the coronavirus outbreak is impacting our community.
Drive-by salute to the workers in Madison.
For the latest information, safety advice, and breaking news, watch News 3 Now, your coronavirus headquarters.
Welcome back. It's an office debate that's as old as dial-up. How to handle all those reply all emails.
Well, Microsoft is making managing those sometimes unnecessary responses a lot easier now.
Accidentally replying to everyone who's CC'd ends up clogging inboxes with irrelevant emails and slows down servers. Microsoft will block replies to mass email chains for 4 hours if it detects 10 emails were sent to more than 5,000 people within an hour.
Yeah, this can be a big problem because in '97, Microsoft actually had a situation where somebody replied all to a mass email asking to be taken off the list, and they ended up sending it to 13,000 other people, and that started a snowball effect of sorts with more people being asked to be taken off the list, and it ended up generating 15 million emails. So we've learned this morning that Leah has a big problem with checking her emails. You have how many thousands of unread emails in your inbox?
I have an update for you folks. I had said 15,000. I took a peek at it. It was actually
underestimated.
85,000 unread emails.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, the update doesn't end. I've taken it upon myself during the commercial breaks to delete them because you can like mass delete all of the promotions emails. I am down, drumroll please, to 1,400.
Hey, not
I deleted
bad.
84,000 emails this morning. You're welcome, everybody. So I should be getting back to you a little bit faster if you did email me recently.
That's good stuff, but you make a good point because, you know, a lot of those are those promotion emails you get from, you know, online retailers and stuff. And, you know, Hattie, this happens to you a lot too. You've got a specific email account that handles those types of emails, right?
Yeah, I have a super secret junk email that I give out in those situations. So yeah, like you, Leah, I mean, I think that email account has like 33,000 emails in it. And
I feel better.
Promotions,
Okay.
so.
It gives me so much anxiety just to think about that number.
I never look at that email account, never, unless I'm expecting a package or something like that. So no worries. Our forecast for today, a little bit easier to take, I think, than 14,000 emails. We have sunshine in the area today, clear skies will stick with us all day today. Live look from the Edgewater Sky Cam here in Madison. Looks like a nice start to the day. We're starting to see some green up on those leaves on the trees. However, you need to be aware that temperatures are still in the 20s and 30s this morning. Still quite a bit cooler than we should be this time of the year. We will climb pretty quickly today through the morning. We'll already be in the 50s before lunchtime today, then topping right around 58 degrees later on. Again, we'll keep that sunshine all day. Not a lot of sun in our forecast though for Wednesday. Rain chances are back in the area late Wednesday through most of Thursday. Looks like Thursday could be kind of a wet day for southern Wisconsin. Total rain that we're expecting could be more than a ½ inch in many locations, with those higher totals closer to an inch right along the state line. After the rain comes to an end, then we focus on a big warm-up. That extended forecast is looking more and more like summer as we head into next week.
All right, looking forward to that, Hattie. Thank you. We, of course, want to thank all of the people in our community making a difference during this time. Today is an International Nurses Day. In honor of the holiday, we want to thank Carla. She's an RN at Columbus Hospital. Carla, thank you for everything you're doing to help our community.
And you want to keep your eyes to the sky today. We'll tell you what to look out for and why it's so special coming up in the morning sprint.
But first, it's May 12th, actually. We want to say happy birthday to EJ, Quinn, and Steven, along with all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks so much for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
Admit it, you just don't have time for mowing. At Barnes, we take pride in our attention to details like straight mowing lines and spotless paved areas. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart. Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
You don't really know how you got here. You didn't choose this. Addiction can happen to anyone. It doesn't discriminate. People can fall into addiction for so many reasons. And yeah, many are victims of pain, physical or emotional. Figuring out how to turn your life around is hard, but it's not impossible. You can do this, one step at a time. It's okay if you stumble. Just make the choice to get back up and fight. You are valuable, and your addiction does not define you. You are so many wonderful things. Believe in yourself. First step, visit unitedmadison.com/addiction for resources for everything related to getting your life back. At United Madison, we are rooting for you. Brought to you by 5 Door Recovery, other supporters, and United Madison.
More than 70 years ago, we at Festival Foods began serving this proud state, building strong relationships founded on trust, compassion, and our unwavering commitment to ensuring that you and your family feel at home every time you visit Festival Foods. It's times like these that remind us that family and home are what truly matter most. So we're using this moment just to let you know that Festival Foods is here for you, because family always looks after family. Be safe, Wisconsin.
Work smarter. Use the cloud to securely print, scan, and collaborate. GI Office Technologies, helping businesses like yours.
Through all the world events since 1936, Culligan Water has continued to provide better, safer water with our filtration systems for homes and businesses. These days, as a designated essential business, Culligan's water professionals are standing by, ready to help.
Admit it, you just don't have time for mowing. At Barnes, we take pride in our attention to details like straight mowing lines and spotless paved areas. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today.
Time right now is 6:50, and it's time for the morning sprint.
We start with the latest on the coronavirus here in Wisconsin. There are more than 10,000 confirmed cases around the state. The good news, though, we've reached a milestone under Governor Evers' Badger Bounce Back Plan. A couple of them, actually. There has been a downward trend of positive cases out of the total number of tests taken over a 14-day period. Almost all hospitals can treat patients without overwhelming the system, and they can test all symptomatic staff who are treating patients. Once the other 3 criteria are met, the state can move ahead with more expanded reopening plans.
Some Wisconsinites are getting ready to go to the polls again today for a special election. Voters in central and northern Wisconsin will decide who will replace Representative Sean Duffy in the 7th Congressional District. Republican Senator Tom Tiffany of Minocqua is running against Democratic Wausau School Board member Tricia Zunker. This is Wisconsin's 2nd election during the coronavirus pandemic.
The Democratic Party will start working today on a plan that could allow them to hold the national convention virtually. It's already been pushed back from July to August in Milwaukee, but the party is now working on a way to design the convention so the delegates don't have to attend in person. Organizers will start that process today with a resolution to grant maximum flexibility to the organizing committee.
Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin says she's in regular contact with Joe Biden and his campaign, but she won't say whether she's talked about being his running mate. In an interview with CBSN, Baldwin said she keeps her counsel with the vice president private. She's been advising the campaign on Wisconsin and has been participating in campaign activities virtually.
Still no decision from the Wisconsin Supreme Court after oral arguments happened a week ago on whether the Safer at Home extension is legal. The court will decide whether the DHS Secretary designee had the authority to extend the order. If the court sides with Republicans, the state has 6 days to figure out a new plan.
This comes as Dr. Fauci plans to warn the Senate that Americans will experience, quote, needless suffering and death if the country opens up too quickly. The New York Times reports Fauci is one of 4 top government doctors set to testify remotely at a committee hearing today. It'll be his first appearance before Congress since the president declared a national emergency back in March. Many states are currently reopening without meeting federal guidelines.
Breaking news into the newsroom within the last hour. 2 14-year-olds are facing charges after leading police on a chase in Janesville. Police say they responded to a call for people going through vehicles just before 12:30 this morning on Pontiac Drive, just off the interstate. Officers say when they tried to stop the suspects in a stolen car, they drove away. The suspects led police on a 15-minute chase through the Village Green neighborhood before officers deflated their tires with stop sticks. Police say the suspects then ran away. 2 of the 3 were caught, but the 3rd is still on the loose.
Some grocery store workers will no longer get bonuses from Kroger for working the pandemic. The company is ending its hero bonus. It gives an extra $2 an hour to tens of thousands of workers. A spokesperson for the company says the hero bonus is scheduled to end mid-May. Kroger runs several grocery stores in our area, including Pick and Save and Metro Market.
Dane County is asking its employees to take voluntary furloughs as department heads plan for budget cuts. The State Journal reports letters were sent last week to all 2,500 county employees. They're being asked to take up to 80 hours of unpaid time off this year. The county is reportedly offering an extra paid vacation day to those who take the full 80 hours or prorated vacation hours for those who take less.
Doctors Without Borders is headed to the U.S. to help during the coronavirus pandemic. The organization is best known for sending medical professionals to international conflict zones. The team in the U.S. is being sent to help the Navajo Nation in the southwest part of the country, where there are more coronavirus cases per capita than any state in the U.S. A shortage in healthcare staff and pre-existing conditions makes Navajo people more susceptible to catching the virus.
Some hospitals will be slow to restart elective procedures. They're waiting for Congress to assure that they won't get sued by patients and employees if they get coronavirus during their visit. Politico reports Republicans are behind the hospitals. It's a sticking point between Republicans who support the hospitals and Democrats who support patients. Disagreements on the issue could delay when the next relief bill is passed.
The 115th Fighter Wing will be flying over our area today as part of the nationwide Operation American Resolve. 4 F-16 fighter jets will fly over hospitals and clinics around the state, including here in Madison. It's to show support for healthcare and other essential workers. Specific times and locations to watch the jets are up right now on channel3000.com. 3 new community testing sites are now open in Wisconsin, one of them here in Madison. Residents with any COVID-19 symptoms or people who've been in contact with someone who has the virus are encouraged to get tested. The Alliant Energy site is open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. No appointment or registration is needed.
We have an update to breaking news just into the newsroom about the current lane closures on Highway 51 that we've been following all morning. That crash happened when one semi-truck approaching a different crash was slowing down. That's when it was hit from behind by a second semi-truck that was carrying a tanker of corrosive material. That crash caused the corrosive material to leak. Police say this material is not lethal, but will cause irritation if inhaled. They're currently working to clean the spill. This is just southwest of Platteville. They're establishing a 1,000-foot radius around it. No major injuries are being reported, but make sure that you go to channel3000.com. We've posted a detour, and the Grant County Sheriff says it is imperative that drivers follow that. That's your First One traffic.
And your First Warn weather forecast starts with clear skies this morning. Temperatures are already starting to climb now here in Madison. We're up to 36 degrees. Over the next 12 hours, it will be a rapid warm up into the 50s before noon and then into the upper 50s later on. Again, we'll keep that sunshine all day. A big change in the extended forecast as the upper weather air patterns start to shift across the country. That warmth that has been building out west will finally start to move into southern Wisconsin as we go through next week. Here's a look at your temperature trend. We're headed into the 80s for the first time in over 7 months as we go into Tuesday of next week.
Thanks, Addie. Thanks for watching today, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.